Meet Sparkles, the most adorable needle-felted black cat you ever will see. Look at the big bright white eyes and all the twinkling Christmas lights wrapped around him. He's absolutely perfect for your tree, and I'm going to show you exactly how to make him step by step. This tutorial is designed for beginners, so if you've never needle felted before, don't worry, you're in the right place. The techniques that you're going to be learning today is how to felt these perfectly round, bright white eyes that pop against that black felt. Then you're going to learn how to get a nice, firm felted ball so that your ornament holds shape. Then also, I'm going to show you how to string these colorful Christmas lights across the cat. No tangling, no frustration. And I have a special surprise for you today because you're going to learn how to use Canva to not just create today's little Sparkles cat, but anything that you want to felt in the future. So it's going to be a very universal technique and you'll be able to use it for years to come. So go ahead, like and subscribe, and let's get ready to make sparkles. Hi everybody, thanks for joining me today. Let me tell you what exactly you're going to need. There is a big list today, so what I'm going to do is just point them out to you, and then I will put the entire list in the description, okay? If I purchased it on Amazon, I will put the link as well, okay? So today what you're going to need is a 3-inch dryer ball, a 3-inch wool ball. Then you're going to need either a carded wool or a merino wool, so just to cover the ball. You're going to need a white carded, a black carded wool. I used this little bell as an embellishment. You don't need this, but it was just cute to add onto the top of the ornament. Some scissors, some ribbon for hanging, a ruler, a little tiny round metal circle. It is 1/2 inch in diameter, and basically I just got that from these little keychain kit that I bought, but you probably have one hanging on a keychain somewhere. You're going to need a needle for embroidery thread, so it's a large hole. I have a 32 triangle, a 38 spiral, a 40 triangle, and a 42 triangle, a clover punch tool, a clover pen tool with two 42 triangles, a pair of tweezers that have thin tips. I have tacky glue, embroidery thread that looks Christmassy. I have these adhesive gemstones. Another thing that you're going to need is a cup of some sort to place the ball in while you're working on it. And then you'll also need a skewer, some pins with large heads to hold down the metal and also the paper, and an awl. And then access to a Canva account. And let me tell you why. So what I did is I went on Canva. I found a cute little Christmas cat that I liked. You can really do this with anything that you find on Canva. Just for fun, I gave it a background. I put a ball. None of that is necessary because we're just going to cut it up. But I just did it to see kind of, Christmassy, how it would look. And I put this cute little cat on here. And he had 3 different poses. So this one, and then just the face, and then this one. So this is the one that I did first. So once I said, okay, that looks really cute on an ornament, I took the cat by itself and I just put the cat on one sheet, like the 3 poses on one sheet, and I printed that out. And then I tried to make sure it was the size that's going to fit on my dryer ball. So the dryer ball is a 3-inch dryer ball. And so this is from the top of the butt down to the foot is 2.5 inches. So that little tail is okay. It's going to curve around the top, but I wanted to make sure the majority of his body was going to fit right in the center. Okay. The head also will kind of curve around the front of the ball. So you can kind of see here how the tail curved around and the head sort of starts to go up, but the main part of the body is front and center. So I did that. And then what you're going to do is you're actually going to take your scissors and you're going to cut out in shapes. So when I look at a picture, I see the shapes that I'm going to have to felt. So the first shape for me is the big butt area with the legs. The second shape is the face, and then the third shape is the tail. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to cut that out. Go find your picture, print it out, cut it out, and then come right back and we will carry on. Okay, so I have my 3 shapes, and I also have my main picture if I need to, line them up, and if I forget for some reason how they go, set them aside for just a minute so that you can cover your felt ball. So I started covering this already just, to save us some time on the video. So this was a merino wool, and to make it felt easier, I carded it. I used these hand carders by Serafina Fiber Art. You can use dog brushes. You can even just use your hands. I even have a video on how to hand card if you don't have a carder, so that's okay. If you don't have anything that you see here, just improvise. That's what I did in the very beginning. I improvised for everything. So cover the majority of it using your punch tool. I'm going to go ahead and just do this section for you here so you can see how to cover the ball. You just pull it down over the white core wool, and you try to just use your punch tool to very evenly cover the white. So this was a merino that I carded, and that's why it's felting super easy. Now, if I hadn't carded it, it would be a little bit harder to felt just because it would be showing a lot of lines and such. Use the merino for wet felting mostly, or if I need to felt with it, needle felt with it, I will card it. Okay. There's a little bit of white showing through, and that's okay because this is kind of what it's going to look like here. We're going to put the black cat in a spot, so I'll just pick that spot to put the black cat. I want to show you how to finish this up first, and I'm just going to go in a little 2 by 2 inch surface to show you how to really completely felt your ball, because if I pull right now, after I did that, you'll see how this is just going to come right off. We definitely don't want that to happen. So there's something you need to do to make this a nice felted surface, okay? So the first thing is going to be, once you get it all covered with your clover punch tool, you're going to go over the entire surface with your 38, And like I said, I'm just gonna do a 2" by 2" because this process to cover the ball can take 20 minutes minimum. And so of course I'm not gonna do that to you on this tutorial, okay? But you're gonna go over your surface. This is what I call my lawnmower technique, and it's just basically like you're mowing the lawn. You're gonna go up, turn, and come back row by row. Try to keep them as close to each other as possible, okay? Once you go over the entire surface with your 38, it's gonna look like this with really, really big holes. Then I take my 242s. If you don't have a clover pen tool, you can do this with 142. It's just going to take a little bit longer. And I do the same thing, lawnmower technique over the entire surface. And then I turn my needles because they're going this direction. So then I'm going to turn them so that I can sort of hit the holes that I didn't hit the first time. And I do that over the entire ball. Anything that you see that you might have missed or is lumpy and bumpy, just to get it, go back over it. Once I'm done with that, you can already see I can't pinch that up now. Once I'm done with that, I take my clover punch tool and I go back over the surface again. And this last pass is where the magic happens. My holes start to really fade. And that is felted super, super tight. So you can actually see the indent there. So this is how it was with the first covering. And then by doing that process, I cannot pinch it. And if I use my finger now, it'll smooth out all the rest of those little surface holes. And that's a nice tight felt. So go ahead and do that to your entire ball so that we're ready to add the cat on. I'll do it here too and come back to you. Okay, so it is done. So we've passed over it all the times necessary. There is no pinching this wool off. There's no way I can pinch it off. That's your test to see if you can still pinch it off, trying hard. I mean, if you try really, really hard, of course you're going to pinch it off. But if you can just do this and you can't pinch any, you're good, okay? If you got out of shape while you were doing that, just use your fingers to reshape your ball. It'll go right back. And if you want to rub it in your hands a little, that will help to take any of the large needle marks and reduce them. Okay, so it's looking really good. Remember, if there's any white spots, that's where you want to put your cat. If we have any white spots in the end, we'll just sort of touch it up, okay? So I'm going to use this part of my surface. The next thing that you're going to do is go ahead and take the cutout and use some push pins to just tack this into your ball. No need to be trying to hold it on while we're doing this. Okay, so I've got him in a really good spot. His head is going to end up being here later. So you can sort of look to see what it's going to look like on the ball. Cute. I love it. So we're going to go ahead and put the head and the tail aside. Now you're going to grab your 32 triangle, and we're just going to use this as a outliner. Okay, so hold this down and go straight in and straight out, dragging a little to your next poke right around the outside edge. The stronger the needle you have to do this, the better, because it's going to give you bigger holes so you can really see your outline. If you only have a 36 and that's your strongest, that's fine. Just the strongest needle that you have. I like to turn it so that I'm pulling down. Remember, we're not really felting here, we're just outlining, so we're just poking. Come right up to your paper. If you need to hold it down with your finger, you can. Keep it in place. And you're going to do this all the way around the circle, or all the way around your cutout. Take a peek and see where you started. You just want to end up right there. Okay, so now that we did that, we can take our needles out, put our cutout aside, and now you can see really good outline of the cat. Take some of your carded black, and you want to, mine's a little separated, you want to get maybe 1/4 of an inch thick, and this is probably a 3 by 2 piece. 3 by 2, yep. So that's what I start with. I just try to do something that's going to cover that, you know, part that we're felting on. Okay. Just fold one edge over so you have kind of a nice edge, and you're going to start anywhere. It doesn't matter where. And you're just going to put it up against these little dots that you just made. Okay. Now you're going to take your 38, which is here, and you're going to poke and just use those little dots as a guide. If it helps you, just try to poke in the dots. And I'm dragging. So let me show you this technique. I'm just going to poke, and then I'm going to not lift my needle like this. I'm going to keep it on the surface. I don't want to press down really hard because I'll snap my needle, but I just have it on the surface and I'm dragging to the next dot. Okay, That's how you get a nice crisp line. See the line? All right. And then you're going to have to pick it up and refold it just so you can see these dots. And you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to keep dragging it. When you drag it, it takes some of the wool with you. If for some reason you run out of wool, just go grab another little piece. And then just do this all the way around. It's really just like connecting the dots. This part's super fun and very therapeutic. For any reason you can't see your dots, you can always take this and compare it so you can kind of see where you're going. But with that really thick needle, you should definitely be able to see your dots. I'm going to separate this a little because I have two little feet. Fold that under. And this does not have to be perfect right now. All we're doing is making this conform to the outline. Look and see where my dots are. Go back over that one a little bit. If you feel like it's fuzzy, just drag your needle back and do it again. Okay, here's my outline here. Okay. All right, so I got the outline done. I have a little bit of extra. I'm just going to pull that little extra off. Don't need all of that. There's a little bit extra here too, so I'm just going to let what naturally pulls off in my hand pull off. I don't want to take too much of it off. Okay. Just going to give it a few pokes with my 38. If I see anything where I didn't hit the line completely, this is a good time to take a little bit with your needle and just pull it over. Do not worry. Okay, so I'm just pulling that over to fix anything that didn't quite get along the line. That's good. Okay, so now that I have my butt, so cute, I'm going to take my 242s and my pen, and I'm just going to really gently do my lawnmower technique and go over to get this wool down. I don't have to worry about my outline anymore, just what's inside. We are looking for a 3D effect, so we don't want it to be flat. 3D is adorable on ornaments. I'm going very gently. You don't have to stab all the way in. Just the tips of the needles have to go through this carded wool into the ball. And my goal right now is just having it all the same level. Use your needles to push it where you need it. Gently. You never want to pull something hard with your needle, or it'll snap. Okay, that's really good. So now that I've got that all, tacked, I'm going to do one pass over very gently. This is just going to secure all the rest of the wool that my 242s didn't touch. Okay, now that's in good. And go on to do the head, and then I'll come back with you to do the tail. Okay, so now I have his butt, really cute, his little face, and I want to do the tail with you. Forgot to mention you need a skewer. So go ahead and get a skewer. So this tail is fat, and that's okay. We're going to go ahead and I'll show you how to get a fat tail on a skewer. You're just going to pull. You don't want it to be breaking, so I just tried to pick one piece. This is probably 3 inches by a 1/2 inch right here. 3 by 1/2. Okay, and on the skewer, start with the rugged end, and you're going to hold it down, pull, and wrap. If you really want to learn how to wrap, I have a whole video on wrapping, and I take a lot of time with you and show you exactly how to do this technique. So if you're not good at this, I guarantee you if you go watch that, you will be good. I'm spending a lot of extra time on the end here because the top of his tail is thick. I'm rubbing it in between my fingers just to start the felting process there. And I'm going to grab another little pinch, a little bit smaller than the first size. And I'm just going to focus on that fat part of the tail and just bulk that up a little. May or may not be as fat as that tail. This will be fine for me. If you want to keep going, you're definitely welcome to. Okay. I am felting it with my fingers. I don't even feel like I need to stab it on this skewer. I'm just going to pull it off. If you feel you need to stab it on the skewer, please feel free to. If that makes you feel a little bit more comfortable, sometimes it does. I want to take a look at my demo kitty here, and it's right on the top of his back, actually. So I'm going to pull this loose part right on top of his belly area, or butt, I should say, his little butt area. And I'm going to put this thick part kind of right there, and it's curving over to the left. So let me get my 38. I'm just going to tack it in this position. Don't worry about what it looks like right now. Just tack it in, going to that curve. Okay, this I'm going to spread out just a little because that way it'll go on smoothly. If you want this specific cat and you go into Canva, look under elements and type in Christmas cat or Christmas kitty. Can't remember which one I did. And a whole bunch will come up. You pick whichever one you want, but I did see him, and he had his two other countermates there. So I thought, what a great set of ornaments that could be. Okay, so now this is down and it's curved up. I'm going to take my 38 and I'm going to go into the end of this. I'm just going to hold it down. Be careful when you're stabbing towards yourself. I have slipped a few times. And I'm coming into the end just to help round that out and make it look a little fatter. If it was a thin tail, I'd be doing exactly the opposite. But right now we're looking for that big fat tail. I'm going to come around the bottom edge and take the tail and felt it right into the ball, right through the tail and right into the ball. It's no different than attaching like an ear to a head, something like that. Just want to get all of it and attach it down. Okay. All right, that's on good. I'm going to put my 38 down. I'm going to get my 242s, and where these two are joined, I'm just going to sort of go over that. 42s are very good for refining and finishing. So if you don't want something to look rough, pop over it with the 42. Super cute. Okay, that was easy, fast. Now we have the base of our cat. Now what we're gonna do is our little white pieces. So you grab your white carded wool. I wanna work on the eyes first. So I'm gonna take this little 1/2 inch circle from the keychain and put those on first. Okay, I use my big ended pin to hold that down. because if you try to do this without a pin, it's near impossible. Hold it where you want it. And I'm just using those big pieces to hold that little circle down, okay? This also helps if you can work in a cup or something like a cup to put your ball in so it steadies it and it's not rolling around. I have this cute little cow that I hold my chalk in. That's fine. Could be a coffee cup or anything. Okay. And we're just going to get a little piece of white, tiny little piece, like a pinch, even a half a pinch. And I'm going to roll this in my fingers, drag it out. Again, I have a video on lines and curved lines and straight lines. So if you do want to learn how to do these lines really well, better than I can teach you in this video, go to those 2 videos. It's in my practice drills, and watch those and you'll learn how to do curved lines and straight lines. I'm going to take my 40 now. It's a 40 triangle. I have my little line and I'm just going to just tack right inside. I'm using that keychain as a guide, and I'm just going to tack it all the way inside, all the way around. Does not have to look perfect right now. It just has to get in there. So I made it around 1.5 times. I'm going to drag now and pull, drag, pull. Go in a circle. Just use this as my guide. And because I only got around 1.5 times, I'm going to do just a little tiny piece on this side, just to make sure it's the same thickness. Really helps if you drag. Don't pick up and move. If you drag while you're doing a line, it takes all those loose fibers with it, and it'll help pop them in. And really all I'm doing is just trying to get kind of an even circle. It's never going to be perfect. Do not ever want anything perfect, because you will set yourself up for failure every time. Okay, then scoot it over to where you want it. We need to leave a little space for a heart nose. So So I am going to space them out. Probably hear my guinea pigs over there. I have 2 guinea pigs and a rabbit and a dog in the room with me right now. And we're just going to do the same thing on this side. Let me take that off. Take that off. And really get in here and drag. It's easier to do the dragging without the metal. You just want to poke where you want it, because when you drag, it's going to follow that needle and it's going to go right where you poke. I love these little eyes. With felting, it's not the fastest process. You can't expect it to be like, oh, one and done. I'm just going to pop this in here and it's done. No, you have to spend time. And I had to make a decision when I started doing these videos. Am I going to spend time with you and really show you how it's done? Or am I going to breeze through it and try to get more views? And I made the decision, I'm spending time with you, because when I first started learning how to needle felt, that's what I had wished I could find, is somebody that would just spend time with me, show me what to do, show me why they're doing it. There's a little bit of a thinner area here. I'm just going to hold it down on both sides and just thicken that up a little. Again, I'm dragging and then felting. Pop that in. So if my videos tend to be a little long, I am sorry. However, that's my teaching style. And you can always come back and watch the part that you didn't get to see the first time, or watch it all the way through, which is very helpful for me if you do. But I'm here for the beginners and for the people that don't really know how to do all of these little techniques. So, oh my gosh, so cute. Okay. I love these little eyes. So now what we're going to do is the little whiskers. You can see 3 little whiskers coming off each eye. And basically what I'm going to do is the same thing. We're just making 3 little lines. Probably going to use my scissors on this one, and I'll show you why. I don't want to start, we're not touching the eye. It's going over the eye right now, but I'm not going to touch the eye. I'm going to start off of the eye, and then I'm going to drag and pull and drag and pull. Okay, then I'm going to use my scissors to just cut this excess on both ends, and then use my 40, sort of pop that in. I'm going to spin it around a little, grab some fibers. I like the eyelashes coming off of the cat. On the picture it's not, but you make this your own. You do what you want. Okay, just trim it up. And do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more times. No, yeah, 1, 2, 2 more here, 3 more here, okay? I'll do it too, and I'll meet you back. All right, so once you get all of those on, I go ahead and take my punch tool, very gently, just further secure them in. And the next thing we need to do is the little heart nose. This looks hard, but it's super simple. So you're going to do the same thing that you did to make the whiskers and the eye. You're just going to make a little line, then fold it over like that, and you're going to pop it down for the first half of the nose. Whoops. Take your 40, just go on the top of that little loop that you made. And tack that down. Okay. Then go ahead and make another one. Do the same exact thing. Fold it over. And then we're going to put it on this side. Looks big right now, but once we felt it, it will not be. And keep in mind we're making a heart, so just take a look at the top of it when you're felting. Tack that down. So now I have the two tops of the heart. I'm going to twist these together. And then I'm just going to felt to what I want to be the bottom of the heart. And then trim that off in a little angle. And then we're going to take our 40, shape it up. You can actually use the tip of your needle if you need to pull some wool to the right or to the left. Use the tip of your needle to do that. And whatever angle you are pushing that needle, that's the way your wool is going to go. So if I want it to go to the left, I'm pushing my needle to the left. And there is your little heart nose. So cute. Okay, pop that down. So cute, 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 cute. Now we need the little triangles in the ears. I'm going to pull 2 little pieces the same size. That one has fiber in it. Okay, I'm just going to roll it up like a ball. And then as I roll it, I'm just going to sort of work on one end to get that as like a little point. And then I'm going to take that point, pop it down first. I'm going to start shaping my triangle by going out, and I'm going to stop where I want it to stop. Okay, I don't want it to go any further down than that, so I'm just going to cut that off. And voila, we have a little triangle. Isn't that cute? I love these little techniques. Lots of techniques in this one. It's a good one when you're first learning. This will be a good video. Okay, it's smaller on this side. You can see tinier here, bigger here. So on this next one, we're gonna, oh, I already pulled it, so let me get it. Where is it? It's this one. Okay, so this next one, we'll use more wool. It's the same piece that we're starting with, but we'll just use more wool. Here's my little triangle. Pop that down. Use your picture as a guide to sort of tell you, you know, how far up in the ear to go, that kind of thing. Spread that out a little bit. I just basically want to poke where I want this to go down. It's almost like when we did the outline. Same concept. Using a little more wool, so it's going to be a little bigger. And I'm going to cut the bottom off. It's always a magical moment when you do that. You see what you created. Want to focus on anything, make it the angles. So like I want to make sure that that is a triangle. So if I'm going to spend time, I'm going to spend it on that versus the center, you know. Okay, I'm just going to trim it up a little and go over it with my punch tool. The last little white, oh my God, he's so cute. Okay, the last little white is his little X on his hiney. I know what that is, but I'm not going to say what that is. And it's the same thing. We're just going to make a little X. Super, super cute. Oh my goodness.
and just find a good spot to start. Definitely don't think this has to be perfect, but it's adorable, so. That is a little thick on there, so I'm gonna fold this over and just bring it in. Make it a little bit thicker. And then do the same thing on this side. So cute. If I was selling these at a trade show, I would definitely start at 35 per ornament or bauble. And I would get it, I'm sure, because there's a lot of detail in this one. Okay, there's his little hiney. Great. You're doing so good. Okay, so now what we need is our embroidery thread. Look how cute that's going to look on it. Like I said, the last time I used, on the other one, I used this one. It showed up really well. The problem with it is this little gold that's wrapped around it. It comes off very easily. And also, this is not embroidery thread. It's not meant to be stitched. And so it, you know, it's like a rope. And it was harder to felt. So I'm going to work with the embroidery thread, see how it goes on this one. And I'm going to use my little needle. Thread my needle. Now, I am not a seamstress or sewer in any fashion. So don't think, oh no, I have to be a sewer to do this. You do not. I don't know how to sew. I have a sewing machine and I never use it. But I do know how to tie a needle and thread. So if you can tie a needle and thread, that's all you need to know for this. Okay? Don't worry. It's all going to be okay. Nothing you can really do to mess this up. I mean, honestly. I'm just going to double knot it, I think. Okay, let's see how that goes. So I want to start, I'm going to use this as a guide. Hopefully you guys can see it there. Push all this aside. Hopefully it's not too shiny. Okay, so I'm going to start down here where this yellow one is. And I'm just going to go under. Beware of wool bits everywhere. Okay, I'm just going to go under. And I want to leave it, see how it's kind of floating? I'm going to leave it floating there a little bit, so it's kind of 3D. And then I'm just going to follow this. So it goes up to this side of the leg. So I'm just going to go up to this side of the leg, you go under the wool. and it's a little loose. So I'm just going to follow it. I'm going to make it a little loose. Then it goes around right here. So to make it go around, I'm going to pop one here. Okay. And then I'm going to come around the front. Anywhere I want a curve or for it to be seen, I'm just going to pull it there. I'm going to hold this one down. Okay, now it goes all the way to this other side. I'm going to let it go to this other side. This is going to be cool because it's going to be kind of like floating. Don't worry, that's fixable. Okay, kind of hold your fingers there so you can get it the way you want it. All right, now I'm going to come up here to his little face. It's a cute baby. Cute baby face. Hold this one down. Okay, and then back over here. See how easy this is? You guys can do this. It's so simple. If I can do it, you can do it. Trust me. Okay. And then back up here. And then it's going to go over to the tip. I'll tie a knot here. Okay. Doesn't matter where you tie a knot because we can cover it with a Christmas ornament. So I'm going to tie a knot right here because my fingers fit here. Okay. Cut that off. Going well so far, and let me get another piece. Don't need a lot more this time. Try to thread that needle. I have a little needle threader if I needed to use it, but I like to pretend I'm young, and I don't. Okay. Tie that in a knot. All right, so we're going to pick right back up here. And come around. I'm going to go ahead and stitch right here so I can make sure we are going the direction we want. Okay, and then I'm going to come off the tail here. This is really a cute little, and then I'm going to come across the top here. And then I'm just going to, you know, there's no way I'm going to get those little curls unless I used a wire. So I'm just going to come right here. And that is where I'm going to finish it, right here. Okay, cut that, and I'm going to make a little knot right here. I'll double knot it. You guys, we're almost done. If you're still with me, thank you. You're doing good. And this is so much fun to make. Ugh. My fingers are so big. Okay, knot. All right, so just come in here and sort of, you know, straighten out your little wires. Get it the way you want it. This one I can... It's okay if it's double string. It actually looks cute. I'm going to trim anything excess on my knots. I say that and then I can't. Okay. And then here, just gonna trim that. All right. Good, good, good. I am loving that. Okay. So our tacky glue and our tweezers and our sparkles. Put my pins and needles away so I don't stab myself. I have some open sparkles here. All right, so what I did on this one is I just kind of, I didn't go by the picture. I'm using 4 colors. The picture only used 3, I believe. And I just found where I thought it would look good, and I started putting them on. Okay. So we are going to do the same thing. We're going to find where we think it looks good and put it on. So get your tacky glue. And you want to just put a small amount. I'm going to start here where I went under. You're going to put a small amount, just a dot. This already has adhesive on it. So therefore, you don't need a lot. When you pick it up, make sure you take the adhesive with you. Sometimes it likes to stick. Okay, hold it in your tweezers, hold it over the glue and drop it. Try to cover all the glue. You can come back later and you can press it down, either with this, you'll come back several times and press it down, okay? You do a couple more, just wherever you think is best. Now is not looking at picture time, now is your creative instincts. So I'm going to do a green. Hold it over and drop. I'm going to do a bright yellow. Just don't be too heavy-handed with the glue. Put it over and drop. All right, I'm going to cover all of this and you cover all of yours, and I'll meet you back. Okay. So once we let that dry, make sure, you know, everything is tacked down really well, let it dry. Then we're going to work on the top to hang it. You're going to go ahead and get your ribbon. Now this is just like a velvet ribbon. I'll put the link for it if you like it in my description. I like to pull 14 inches. We can always cut off the excess later. And I cut at an angle. Take your ball and you're going to find the center top. Okay, so just put your fingers top and bottom. Look at that center top right where that is. And then take your awl and you're going to force it down into the ball and then over just a little bit and back up. This is really hard wool, so this is not super easy. Okay, now if it misshapen your ball a little bit, you can just squeeze it back to normal. Take a look at that and see if that is center. Okay, I feel like that is a good center. So now, not holding on to where you just glued, but just kind of around it, you're going to take your awl and go back and forth several times. Probably about a good, so it came out there, a good minute's worth. And as you're doing this, you want to push up towards the top, push down towards the ball, and then left and right. So backwards, forwards, top and bottom. You're going all 4 directions. And the reason that we do this is we do not want this to close up on us, this hole. So we're literally felting it from the inside. Push your all different directions, okay? Then you're going to take this wool needle, which is another tool I forgot to mention to you. Okay, a wool needle. You're going to string this through to the center. Go right through the hole that you just created. Okay, pull it through, and then once you get it through, hold on to one end and then pull the other end through. So I'm just holding one down and I'm going to pull the other one through. Okay. Then get them even. Don't worry if your ball's looking like it's all out of shape. That's normal. So we're manipulating it right now. Okay, get them even. And you're going to tie a knot and go all the way down to the ball. Then you're going to, wherever you want your bell to be, we're going to tie another knot. Okay, so that's a good spot for me for the bell. Put this through the bell, just one side of my ribbon, and then I'm going to tie it again. Now you can double knot. There. Now you have a really cute little adornment on the hanging part. Take your fingers, squish this back. Sometimes it gets out of shape, you know, while we're putting that all in it. It is wool. And there you have it. If you want to put some of your little dots, some of your little Christmas ornaments on the bell, you can do that like I did here. I just put tacky glue down and put the ornaments right on there. Sometimes the sticky part of that sticks out, the adhesive sticks out and you have to cut it off. But otherwise, that's it. I mean, that is done. I hope you really, really enjoyed this. Go ahead and you can do this with any Canva printout that you find, you can make a Christmas ornament out of. So I hope I have really helped you open up your eyes to all of the possibilities that are out there. I'm going to go ahead and finish my green one, and I hope that you guys make several, make sets, give away to friends. Follow me on Facebook. It's More Fun with Felt with spaces in between. Also, subscribe and like to the channel if you'd like. I would greatly appreciate it, and even more if you throw some hype my way. Thank you so much, and come back for more wonderful felting projects with me. Until next time, have a wonderful day.